merci public. Et là, on va passer l'hymne national de la Tunisie. Merci. Et ce match qui va être arbitré par Monsieur Pérez Miguel de l'Espagne, Banza Clomé Tonton, Congo démocratique.
So on the left, Cheikh Sarr, the coach of Senegal, and Adel Zalatli on the right, wearing the red shirt. And both of those coaches sad to lose yesterday, but they'll try to rebound and get here to the podium and get the bronze at the AfroBasket. Both coaches already know their teams will be at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament next year. More on that later. The referees from Spain, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Angola, Miguel Perez, Tonton Banza Colume, and Carlos Julio of Angola. Well, we're going to put the rosters up and have a look at those here. And for Senegal, Dalmeida could not have played much better yesterday for Senegal, that's for sure. Number 5, the point guard, Ibrahima Thomas, gave him a huge lift coming off the bench, both primarily with his long-range shooting. Mendy was overall really solid yet again. Number 8, Gorgui Dieng as well. Perhaps not quite as dominant with his scoring as we've become accustomed to, but nevertheless effective. See, Budge is in the starting lineup with Dieng, Mendy, Mele Njoy, the veteran, and Dalmeida. Mele Njoy, 35 years of age, and still getting it done for the Senegalese. And Salah Mejri, there you see, will not be in the starting lineup tonight for Tunisia. I don't know what the rules would be on him going back to the changing room at halftime and getting dressed out for the second half, but we've seen a Tunisia team really that, you know, they've given us some good moments. Omar Abada, I think, has answered a lot of questions about his, you know, qualities. He's done a good job in his first big starring role for Tunisia, the point guard. Makram Ben Ramdam started strong in this tournament, maybe not, hasn't finished as strong as they would have liked. Mohamed Gayaza was really a spark yesterday. He's in the starting lineup there on the right with Salah Mejri out. Michael Roll has been, I think, just exactly what Tunisia expected, and Mohamed Hadidane was really that was one of his better games yesterday for Tunisia in their defeat. So Lloyd, they've got to raise themselves, and they'll be looking perhaps to get something special from both of these players.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the numbers for Dalmeida, look at that, 14 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds. He was brilliant. Best game of the tournament for him. He has been more of a scorer in these last couple of games, and that's why we've highlighted Michael Roll becomes even more influential, even more important for Tunisia now. You know, Mejri not being on the floor is a huge loss for Tunisia. Let's not get that straight, but in reality, they haven't had a fully fit Salah Mejri pretty much throughout this tournament, and they've had to play without him. And actually, the run they went on, the spark they went on last night, Tunisia, was when he wasn't on the floor. You know, was when Gayaza was on. It's the energy that he brought, you know, the passion he played with. So Tunisia have a great team. They have a lot of pieces. The question mark always for Coach Delatli there is, you know, the one-on-one play. Who, when it breaks down, when they can't get shots from their offense, who's going to step up and score? And that's when Michael Roll, you know, he's really the go-to guy.
Tunisia made it to the podium back in 2009. They finished third and they qualified for the FIBA Basketball World Cup in Turkey. And the following year, they won the AfroBasket in Madagascar. That was probably a surprise, a mild surprise at least, beating Angola in the final. And that allowed them to play at the Olympics the following year in London. So this is a country that, even though they dipped the following year at the AfroBasket in Abidjan in 2013, you'd have to say they're one of the leading basketball countries on the continent, and they want to try to underline that status by getting back to the podium today. For Senegal, for long stretches yesterday, it looked like they were going to be the better team and they would advance, but you have to be able to close games out. And even though in the end they came back in regulation to tie it and force the overtime, they didn't have the answers when they needed to.
Yeah, I mean, what we haven't mentioned is that I'm just pausing. There's a slight change to the starting lineup for Senegal. It's Sarsene that's out there, not Bodge.
Yeah, so the graphic that we had wasn't correct.
No. Well, it's interesting, but the thing is, the other four outside of Sene, they each played every minute of the overtime game last night. They played 45 minutes apiece for all of them. And so how much of a factor will there be heavy legs after, playing last night?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tunisia. It's the final day of AfroBasket 2015, and it's the battle for third place between Senegal and Tunisia. And Tunisia get the ball, Hadidan, immediately, and tries to attack the basket, and is unsuccessful. So now Senegal with Sarsene in the game, and Bodge out. Their first attempt, Mendy. Scores easily.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Senegal play, they will slow the tempo. They will only take high percentage shots. They're number 3 in points for, 3 in field goal percentage, but second in 2-point percentage. And that's because they just do a really good job of controlling tempo.
Another attempt by Tunisia's off target. Ben Ramdam guarding Jing and picks up a foul.
Ramdam wants the foul called against Jeng. Watch, he's bumping Jeng here, and Jeng lifts the elbows, does catch him. And the referee saying that it's Ben Ramdam that's made all the contacts. He's now got blood coming from his nose, so he's going to have to go out.
A little bit of perhaps the frustration of also losing last night. You can see Ben Ramdam goes and kicks the advertising hoarding in frustration. But it did appear that he initiated the contact.
Yeah, he's trying to be physical. It's a tough matchup for him guarding Jeng. Size of Senegal.
Dalmeida up, and the pass reached Jing, but it was knocked out of his hand. And Abassi, who's just come in, puts it up and in. So Abassi, the replacement, hustles down the floor.
Yeah, 2 positives there. Tunisia have no chance of guarding Gorgui Dieng one-on-one. They're going to have to do it with multiple defenders like they did in that last play. And the other thing, that to beat Senegal, you've got to get out in transition.
Enjoy off the back of the rim. Now Michael Roll gets inside, puts up a short little jump shot. And Mendy carries the ball. Well, Ben Ramdam it's been a physical AfroBasket for him. It's not the first time he's taken a shot to the face, although I'm not sure that was intentional. Roll behind the back. In fact, he had a collision with Salah Mejri earlier in the tournament, had to leave. Oh, goodness me. X Factor emerges. Abbasi, 2 consecutive baskets.
Now we said that the question mark for Tunisia is the one-on-one play, and that's an example. Abbasi with a great move and finish.
And Mindy travels. So 2 consecutive turnovers from Mindy and the same reaction each time. So now Abbasi. And very positive start for him.
And again, showing the ability to break down the Senegalese defense. He's played sparringly, Abbasi. He's only averaging 6 minutes a game. Played in 5 of the 6 contests.
First foul on Mindy. So it's not working for Mindy right now, that's for sure. Rolled. And over to Abada. Count it! So a 3-pointer from Abada. And suddenly Tunisia, since the Ben Ramdam exit, have really lifted their game. Sene puts it up and in.
Fine, Mendy that time. He can get called for the travel or turn it over. He's been showing a better ability off the dribble in this game. Usually he's been a spot-up shooter.
Gayaza. Oh, that was almost goaltending, but must have been really short. Mindy from the corner, that's good.
And that's what Mendy's done. He's been the man patrolling the three-point line, looking for opportunities. It's his first one.
Abbasi, count it!
Where's this guy been, eh? Maybe he should have played more during the tournament. Abbasi has been doing everything.
I'm sure Adel Talatli must be wondering the same thing. It's not like he didn't play him, but maybe he senses the opportunity and wants to take it with both hands. And Gorgie Jing.
That's why I was saying they can't guard him one-on-one. They've got to do it with multiple guys, double team him.
Roll. Good hustle from Gayaza. And this time, Abbasi had his shot blocked by Sene. And the turnover gives it back over to Tunisia. They've got numbers. Bounce pass, a little bit ahead. He was able to get it back. And Senegal just kind of standing around. That was, that was an issue of effort for the Senegalese.
Absolutely, Mendy's having a torrid time. 3 turnovers for him. This is where they do have the advantage, though. Jiang, how good has he been in this tournament? Nigeria did a very good job on him last night. Shane Luau especially.
Yeah, he still had a double-double, but not the same type of double-double.
Well, he's a double-double every game. And like you said, not the same. It wasn't into the 20s, which is what we've seen.
Wow. Gayaza hits the turnaround jumper. Well, Tunisia didn't shoot it this well yesterday.
The pressure's off now, isn't it, for Tunisia? Up until the loss, everything was a struggle for them. Every shot mattered.
Jang, as easy as you like, he misses. And wonderful idea of what they want to do, and really the intensity so far defensively for Senegal isn't there. Not to take anything away from Tunisia.
Yeah, Bassi and Gayaza are just, outworking anybody right now. With 2 guys with limited opportunities up to this point. And, they're showing they belong. Maybe a chance for Senegal to go into their bench as well.
Three-pointer from Malay Enjoy.
They still stay within 1 point. As poor as they've been defensively, Senegal are still in this one. And they're still right there.
Now Gayaza on the right. Ball hit out to Abada. So good effort there from Abassi. I have to say that's where Tunisia have done very well, some of their second effort, even last night. Now, Adidan. Another rebound.
We asked about the legs of Senegal. They do look tired right now, don't they?
Roll drifts in. Well, they played a lot of minutes, the Senegalese.
Yeah, I mean, Dalmeida went out for nearly the last minute, but that was about it, wasn't it? The others played a lot of minutes.
A foul on Tunisia. And Badji is going to come into the game. That foul was on Gayaza. So Abassi, Gayaza, and Roll exit. El Melbrook, Bra, and Ben Ramdam come back into the game for the Tunisians. Enjoy. Good pickup from Abada. El Melbrook. He's been a key man in this tournament for Tunisia. Fouled out on the perimeter. That's only the second on Senegal. Probably will not get into bonus.
But there's just 4 on the clock, and it's one of those fouls which you don't need to commit if you're Senegal. You know, it's not that you were beaten, you're struggling to keep the man in front.
Body down for 3, rims out, but Bra again beats Senegal to the board. Abada, and Abada's three-pointer takes it up to 20-14. And it really is a case of second chance points, isn't it? Yeah. Points after rebounds.
And also production from other sources. You know, Abada has played well in this tournament, but he only averages 3 points a game. He's got 6 already. Abassi stepped up. And also, of course, Gayaza has played well in his stretch.
Here's the Abassi. There's the Abada three-pointer to take it to a 6-point lead. Is 20-14 in favor of Tunisia. We have a timeout. Senegal can turn this around really quickly. I mean, they're only down 6 points, but at the same time, they do appear to be flat at the start of the game. You know, whether or not that's tiredness or whatever, the emotions maybe not as high as they were last night.
You're absolutely right. The worry is not the 6 points at all. At this stage of the game, we're still first quarter, plenty of time. But the biggest worry is how flat they are, and that's what I said. You know, is it the time? Is it the game to go into that bench? They have depth. You know, they've got players like Ibrahim Thomas that played well last night. Mbengwe has played well in his limited minutes. Mohamed Diop has played well in his limited minutes as well. So it's not like they haven't got experience on the bench or guys they can go to, but they do tend to go with a short rotation in most games.
Well, I mean, that field goal percentage there just pretty much told you all you need to know. They're shooting 60% and 47% for Tunisia, yet Tunisia's up by 6. So they're just hustling into loose balls and getting other opportunities. Look at that. This time, Senegal get it back. And that's what happens. You can give yourself a second chance.
Well, before that one, Senegal had taken 10 shots and Tunisia 19. So that's the difference. They hadn't turned it over. They've looked after it. They've got some offensive rebounds, and that's why they have this lead.
And Jing reaches in, knocks it away. And Brock commits the foul on Dalmeida.
It's the first turnover for
Tunisia.
Yeah, for Tunisia. So
so the foul was on Bra. So Dalmeida gets it to Badji. 8 on the shot clock. Dalmeida. Enjoy puts it up and in. So Malay Enjoy was quiet yesterday, but he's hit a couple baskets here.
it's a great step through, wasn't it? Just a hop between two defenders to find in the room. We're going to hold for this final shot now, Tunisia.
So Bada looks at his options, gets it to Ben Ramdam, puts it up, and he travels. Nope, they called the foul. I thought they called travel.
The Senegalese players called a travel, but the referee was...
I just saw him running.
Yeah.
It looked like he was signaling travel, but he was signaling the foul. There's no travel there. It's a good move from Ben Ramdam, and now it's up to 22-18. Quick one for Jing, and foul picked up before the shot, so they have one to give. Saye, the backup point guard, has come in. So 0.5 seconds. And Indy's able to get it off, I think. And just gets the backboard. So Senegal trail 23-18. 10 minutes done.
On est vraiment meilleur. On ne peut pas sur les armes. Ok? Il faut la zone pour aller marquer avant qu'on se mette en place. Parce que c'est difficile pour eux de scorer à l'intérieur de la raquette.
From a rebounding standpoint,
Yeah, man. Hey.
what do you think? Is there anything glaringly obvious to you where it's working for Tunisia?
Well, no, I mean, it's not on the stats, is it? It's as we've said in the first quarter, it's just effort. You know, effort right now, 9 out of 10 for Tunisia, about a 5 or a 6 for Senegal. They've gone through the motions. They don't look like they really want to fight for it. And Tunisia's aim is they need to seal this game by the fourth quarter, the way Senegal are playing, because Senegal will play hard if it becomes a close game. So if you're Tunisia, you've got to understand that now we've got the energy. We have to make the most of this. We have to take our opportunity. You know, we've taken twice as many shots nearly as Senegal, so therefore we need to have a sizable lead. We want to lead at halftime. We want a sizable lead at the end of the third quarter. You don't want this game to be going down into the last seconds or into a fourth quarter, because that's when Senegal can just turn it on for those last few possessions. And of course, we know when you've got Gorgui Dieng in your team, you're never out of it. You can go to him for a big basket. Still no subs for Senegal. Zone from Tunisia then. You gotta watch out where this guy is.
Misses it badly, doesn't he? Mendy.
Good work from Badji though.
And Senegal And Talatli looks over at the scores table.
Yeah, the problem was Tunisia were complaining about the shot clock, and Ben Ramdar walked all the way out of the middle of the zone to talk about the shot clock to the table, and the referees gave the ball to Senegal. They threw it in and scored.
Still haven't registered the points on the board here. They have on the scoreboard, but not on the system, because I don't think they know.
Everyone was caught off
confirmation.
guard, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so they do give the basket to Enjoy. So he's got 7 points now. To Saye. And gosh, Adidane was in perfect position, but just threw it up way too hard.
Aggressive defense in that sequence from Senegal. Switched. They rotated well.
And Dalmeida then has it knocked away. Oh, beautiful pass from Ben Rondam. Oh, nice shot to the trailer, and that's an unsportsmanlike, without a doubt. It was Enjoy.
Yeah, Enjoy was just grabbing the arm, wasn't he? He didn't make a play at all. Right call from the official. Senegal believe they should have got the whistle at the opposite end. I'm going to get a replay there. I'm not sure. Did you see the one at the opposite end for Dalmeida?
No.
We didn't have the best angle. Dani goes out then. Zig in.
Diop is coming back in.
These two teams haven't played for a while. Last time in AfroBasket was 2009. And it was Hadidane, which was the top scorer for Tunisia in that game, actually. And it's been a mainstay for a long time, hasn't he? The leaders for Tunisia in 2009. Hadidane 8 points. Bra with rebounds. Hadidane with assists as well. So, you know, it did prove to be a Senegalese victory, though, 73-65. It was in the second round. They had groups of the second round back then. Both teams having qualified forward into the quarterfinal stages, where Tunisia won, Senegal lost. And Tunisia faced Angola, a traditional rival in the semi-final, and were turned over 79-69.
So El Malbrook misses from long range. Diop. And an opportunity for Tunisia now to extend that lead. Malbrook. No look pass to El Malbrook in the corner. And Badji goes up for the strong rebound, and he draws the foul from Ben Ramdam.
Beautiful rebound from Badji. Just elevated higher than anybody else, didn't he? You couldn't see it there. There was a crowd, and he just rose above everybody before he drew the foul. Here's Measure looking on.
Now entry pass to Jing, and Jing throws it away, almost. Good hustle from Ben Ramdam. Almost, we could have reached out and touched him there. He's the closest the player's been to us in the entire competition during live action. So Ben Ramdam's going to come out for a second after that. And Zig's in, and that was short from Mindy. And then Saye kind of stumbles over his own feet. Mindy. And Mindy. Or is it Diop or Mindy? Mindy goes to the free throw line.
There he goes. I mean, Senegal, they play such a slow tempo. almost a contradiction, but they're still quite a high-scoring team. And it's because they just pick their opportunities to run so well. So you don't really remember them, but they get out in transition when they have a chance to score. If they don't, they'll walk it up, they'll take time off the clock, they'll be methodical, but they do shoot a very good percentage. And as we can see that straight away, 70% right now from two-point range there.
Two misses. One miss rather. But the brick free throw goes out, and they were able to get the ball back. Now Senegal and Dalmeida gets it back to a two-point game.
I get more and more impressed with Dalmeida the more I see him. Every game he gets better. And that's the type of play we just didn't see from him early in this competition, but now it's almost like a go-to basket from him.
Well, step back, roll, and drills it.
That is Michael Roll. He's got such a smooth stroke.
Now Mendy. And miss. Now back over to Rizig in Tunisia. Bra in the corner, drives in. So good aggressive play from Tunisia. These guys have certainly come to play tonight, haven't they?
And it is almost like the weight has been taken off them. When we see beautiful fake from Roll to get his man in the air, but players like Bra and Abassi and also Gayaza, who haven't really done anything today. They've just got the freedom to be able to do things, get to the ring, get offensive rebounds, be open for shots. This move in the sub. Thomas, we know, is probably the best shooter of the Senegalese bigs. See if we can stretch the defense, stretch the zone a little bit, or at least give some more room for Dieng when he dives down low.
Well, Thomas has it on the low block right now, and has it taken away by Rizig. Now it's Malbrook, passes back outside to Roll. It's on target. Go! Well, two in a row from the same spot from Michael Roll. And Tunisia now have opened up a 9-point lead, their biggest of the game.
Yeah, he almost took the wrong option. I thought he should have passed about now, but instead held on to it. And Michael Roll then spotted up beyond the three-point line to take the three rather than the two. Often you think, why take away an easy two? But when you're Michael Roll, the three's as easy as a layup.
And you know who the tallest cheerleader is in the house tonight? It's Salah Mesri. You saw him in that picture there. Pumped up, pulling for Tunisia. 12 points from turnovers for Tunisia, just 3 for Senegal. Look at that. Senegal cold from long range, although we saw something similar to that yesterday. They had the capacity to heat up.
The thing they haven't done, Senegal, is get Gorgui Dieng the ball in the low block. That's where they get open threes, because he's so patient. He can just take his time. He draws defenders to him, and that allows Diop, Mendy, and Dalmeida to just kind of find their feet, set themselves for easy shots. And he hasn't been getting touches like he's not. It's a different shot for them.
Jump shot, and Dieng.
said about getting the ball, not necessarily on near the three-point line, but he shows the ability he has. He's shown that increased range on the jump shot here. I thought about another one.
He hit that late three-pointer yesterday to force overtime. And Elmal Brook that time from the corner. Now quickly back to Diop, and Diop has to do better. How much did Senegal miss Mohamed Faye, I wonder?
Yeah.
Roll, fouled. Nope, he traveled. So that goes back over. Mohamed Faye was sent home earlier in the competition after, well, we heard a dispute with one of the players, but then a dispute with the coach.
Yeah, some sort of disciplinary issue. They haven't alluded to what that it was. But all we know is, former leading scorer of AfroBasket is no longer with the team.
Inside, Jang denied. Well, that's a good response from Tunisia. And inside. And Diop finally comes up with it, gets it over to Dalmeida.
A denial from Elmal Brook, great deep from him.
Mendy, and Mendy blocks. And Mendy travels. He's had an absolute nightmare tonight. He's got 6 points, but from a turnover standpoint,
it's 4 now.
4 turnovers.
Yeah. And his 6 points is 2 of 6 from the field, so he hasn't shot particularly well for him. Ejection from Bra from behind, and technical foul now on Mendy as well.
So Mendy's, just wonder if coach might take him out.
Yeah, I think he is, and Joy's going to come back in.
So Mendy could sit the rest of this out. He was frustrated from the very beginning, but he was turning the ball over.
Yeah.
So full marks to Tunisia for playing that harassing defense, especially down low.
What they've done is they've put pressure on the perimeter, which has made it hard to go to the inside.
Yep.
So they're undersized, but they're denying reversal passes. They're not allowing it to the foul line extended, which is where you usually go to pass to the inside. So they're going to have to use the dribble to get to that spot rather than try and pass it down.
But even when they do get it down low, they're surrounded. So Diop picks up the foul. And free throw is good. Second one is good as well. Good minutes here from that man. Ball with 5 points, 3 rebounds. Ibrahima Thomas. Almeida, though, ball bounced out to him over the head of Abbasi. And in the corner, they had him trapped. Oh, Bra. Oh, he had the power move. All he had to do was lay it up and in. Elmal Brook gets a little bit of space. And they're leaving a lot of points in there they could be making. That's twice, especially Bra.
Slowness worked, though. Times they've used it.
Over to Enjoy for 3. And Rizig, former captain, hauls it in. Rizig shares it, gives it to Abassi. And just the extra effort from Bra. Now, roll. There's just no substitute for effort, Lloyd, and that's where they're beating them tonight.
Absolutely, great work by Coach Talatli to go to this lineup with, a lot of energy guys out on the floor, knowing how important it is in a game like this.
Oh. They threw it right into his hands, and he wasn't expecting it. Rizig must have lost his footing, or because watch this, the ball. Oh no, it's not going to be on that. Yeah, it is. No, he just kind of turned to his right a little bit. Hopefully he's okay. It looks like he's in a little bit of pain. Timeout.
But it's interesting. Tunisia are pretty much outside of Michael Roll. It's 4 bench guys on the floor right now, and what they're bringing to the game is they're bringing great energy. And Coach Talatli has recognised that it may not be the game for the starters today. He wants hungry guys on the floor. That's what's going to win this game. Senegal, on the other hand, they're just not going into their bench at all.
I mean, Tunisia have hit a little drought themselves. They haven't had a field goal in the last 4 minutes, but
they still got a 10-point lead.
Yeah.
So they've stopped. They may not have scored, but they've done a decent job slowing Senegal down as well. The zone has worked very, very well. It's been very effective for them. Senegal, the ball's sticking with players, isn't it? One guy has it, he holds it. It takes him time to move it on, and that's a real positive when you're in a zone when that happens.
God damn it!
is this a consequence of Senegal not going deep enough to their bench and having to play back-to-back days over the course of the knockout round?
You don't know, do you? But I think it's got to be a factor. These are heavy legs, and in reality, Senegal have done what they came here as a minimum to achieve. The difference between 3rd place and 4th place, what does that mean to them right now? That's the question.
I don't think there's any doubt that Tunisia can kind of save their AfroBasket if they win this game. To get 4th and not get a spot on the podium would be a big disappointment. Dalmeida threw it up there, and the ball just bounced out to Thomas before the shot, the referee says.
Look at that chow there, didn't they, Senegal? Thomas had a wide open 3, where he's made some. He's made 2 in each of the last 2 games. Doesn't take it, gives it to Dalmeida with 2 on the clock. Luckily for him, Dalmeida's able to hit the ring from, near half court. And you get the offensive rebound there. Okay, look how stagnant it is for Senegal right now.
2 up, and stagnancy leads to shot clock violations.
Yeah. Just got to get the ball moving a bit quicker, and Dieng needs touches. They have to understand, without him, they don't get easy shots, or sometimes even shots.
So Rizig seems to be okay. He's back out there. And Abassi hits another shot from the floor. This bodes very well for them. Don't forget, this Tunisia team will go to a FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament next year, looking to make it a return trip to the Olympics. Dieng inside, powers his way up and in. So that time, no help, no collapse on Dieng.
Well, and also a touch. When was the last time he touched it in that sort of spot? The start of the 2nd quarter, that was really the last time I remember him getting any sort of, possession deep against the zone.
Good play from Abassi. He's just playing the game of his life right now. Certainly for Tunisia. And now it looks like Dieng may have caught, at least he's looked over to the ref to say he got caught. Roll, misses the 3. Dieng looks a bit ticked off really for the first time in the tournament. See if he gets another touchdown low. Diop. Ibrahim Thomas, good!
Better for Thomas. He didn't hesitate, just called and shot it in rhythm. He is a very good three-point shooter. I mean, it's surprising. This is a man, 2013, it was non-existent, the jump shot, and it's since that point, it's just developed and developed and developed. You know, 2013, he was 0 for 5 across 92 minutes. It was just not really a shot he looked for. 2014, we saw it a little bit, and now here in Tunis, it's been like his go-to weapon.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, you get to the point where you throw him into the debate, is he the best three-point shooter in this team? You might find it difficult moving off screens to take it, but he seems to get a little bit of space because he's such a big man. He's trying to pull the big guy away from the basket. 2-point percentages and 3-point percentages for both teams. Senegal shooting much better inside the arc, but the defense, overall defense and rebounding of Tunisia just kept them in the game. So the Senegal fans, they seem to have shaken off the disappointment. The final 25 seconds here, the first half. About an 8-second differential on the game clock and the shot clock. Now the shot clock's down to 7. Roll. Pulls up for 3. Went in, came out. Ibrahim Thomas picked up the foul. That's not a good foul because they are in the bonus.
It's Abassi's third as well, so as well as he's played, he may have to go out. Because of foul problems, and you're absolutely right, it's not a smart foul. There's just no need. He's nowhere near the ball, is he?
In every respect, it's not a smart foul.
No, the ball wasn't really there to be taken. And he's put Thomas on the line. The only thing you would say is Tunisia are going to get 9 seconds, which is a long time to get that last shot. But I don't think that was in his mind.
I would forgive Abassi for his youth, but he's 24. So is that maybe inexperienced?
Yeah, he's actually younger than I thought he was, actually.
Oh, they kept it alive. And James, and he was fouled, so now more free throws.
Yeah, Roll's got to look like he did nothing wrong. He pushed him at the back.
So that's Roll's first foul. Well, Roll, I'm not sure, was it on Roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't look like. You think that was a clear push?
The first time I saw it, yeah, on the rebound, he pushed him in the back. I didn't see the replay, to be honest.
So Senegal get 3 points down the floor that time. The final few seconds, Roll puts up a little runner and had the shot he wanted. So having led by as many as 12 points, Tunisia see their lead cut to just 4 at halftime. It's 37-33, Tunisia on top of Senegal.
An extremely disappointing finish to the half for Tunisia. We said with the energy, the way Senegal have played this first half, you really should be looking at having a lead at the halftime and try and stretch out in the third quarter. It hasn't been that way, and they've let Senegal back into the game. You know, Senegal, as always, shooting a great percentage. They've done a pretty decent job all around, except for shooting the 3, despite the fact they haven't played with the energy and the enthusiasm that we would expect at this stage of the tournament.
Alors, je vais arrêter ce genre de ça.
37-33 is the lead for Tunisia over Senegal at halftime in the battle for third place. The final day of AfroBasket 2015, these two teams are assured of spots in FIBA Olympic qualifying tournaments next year. There will be 3 6-team tournaments, and the winners of each of those tournaments will clinch places at the Rio de Janeiro Games. The winner of the next game will qualify for the Olympics, and the loser will also go to a FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament. The next game is between Angola and Nigeria. Lloyd, Tunisia led by as many as 12 points. A little bit better from Senegal at the end of the first half, and they were able to cut that deficit to 37-33.
Yeah, I mean, Senegal did play better at the end of the second quarter. It's going to be interesting to see what type of Senegal come out. You know, I think they've got a run in them. I think they'll pick up the intensity at some stage. It's a matter for Tunisia if they can get the lead before that happens. Still no real substitutions. Jeng stays on the floor, Dalmeida stays on the floor, Mendy stays on the floor, which is standard operating procedure for Senegal, isn't it, really?
It is indeed. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tunisia. It's the battle for third place here between Senegal and the host nation, Tunisia. These teams trying to bounce back from disappointing results last night. Senegal falling to Nigeria and Tunisia losing to Angola. So Kaniwa has come into the game and he hits a three-pointer.
He didn't really see any action, did he, first half, which is surprising. Immediately hits a three, and they're going to stay in this zone, which is caused problems for Senegal.
He played a couple of uneventful minutes in the first half. Now Mendy, who got a technical in the first half, comes out and just plays basketball and drills a three-pointer. Hits it right back.
He went 3-2 zone that time, and Mendy just slid himself into the corner, which is one of the weak spots of a 3-2. Was found and knocked it down.
Offensive foul called against Tunisia, and I think it's Gayaza?
Yeah, he was just moving on the screen. Mendy tried to go over the top, read the passing lane. Gayaza recognised, and she's just too late in stepping out. That's the three of Mendy. A lot of discussion about who was supposed to get out to him in the corner, whether it's Ben Rondal or whether it's Kaniwa. This time it's Roll that's going to go on this near side. We'll drop into a 2-3 instead.
So in it goes to Ibrahim Thomas, and it's back to the basket, and the ball is knocked away. And Ben Ramadan was fouled, I believe, by Mendy. Or was it Thomas coming down?
It might have been Dalmeida from behind, yeah. Watch him try and reach around and get the steal.
Yes, it was Dalmeida. I thought that was Mendy. And that slows up the fast break. Angola have shown up. They're watching the game from behind the basket. Now, Ben Ramadan, very positive for him. What? And Ben Ramadan reaches over, and now
they just cannot get touches for Jen, can they?
that was interesting,
Senegal.
though. Tunisia were appealing for an unsportsmanlike because there was a 3-on-1 fast break, and really the Senegal player wasn't going to make any attempt on the ball, and he stepped right in front of him. Do you think that's an unsportsmanlike? The Spanish referee doesn't. They're off to the races.
Yeah, but I think the definition of the unsportsmanlike in that situation is he wasn't the last man, and it wasn't a foul from the side or behind. So by definition, it's not an unsportsmanlike there, unless you're going to say there wasn't a play for the ball, so it's unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I'm not sure. I think it'll be hard done by.
So Roll drills the jump shot and takes it up to an 8-point lead all of a sudden. And Gorgui Dieng travels.
I mean, Dieng just has not got touches at all. Credit the Tunisian defense. We see so often in this tournament he will take over in the second half, though. So even though they've done a good job now for 22 minutes, they've got to do more, Tunisia. They cannot let Dieng get going.
Ben Ramadan goes behind his back outside to Roll. Kaniwa probes, throws one up from the line. Now Dieng, and that was a foul on Roll.
It's a similar thing. I mean, there's no play for the ball there, is there? You know, and again, if you get called for an unsportsmanlike in that situation, very, very harsh. But you know, did he really go for the ball, or did he just stick his arm out to stop the foul, to stop the transition?
Well, Michael Roll comes out, a naturalized Tunisian from the United States. El Malbrook comes into the game.
El Malbrook was scoreless in that first half. And he played well, though. Surprised me he hadn't scored.
Dalmeida throws it up into row H. Somebody's going to have to go get that ball. Well, just as it seemed that Senegal had kind of calmed down and got back into it, Tunisia have gone back on top by 8 and now have a chance to stretch it to 10 or 11. Kaniwa, beautiful play, bounce pass to Ben Ramadan, one of the highlights of this Tunisian performance. Now they trap Mendy, and he throws into the hands of Kaniwa. And Tunisia landing some telling blows. Hadidan. Good attempt from Ben Ramadan to take it away from Mendy. But right now, Senegal kind of sleepwalking again, and they get it inside. Saw a collision with the referee over there while they were playing defense. We've seen the quality of, look at that bounce pass again, of Ben Ramadan here in this second half. Plays like that, dribbling behind his back, his scoring, his passing. So timeout on the floor, 6:22 remaining in the third. Senegal with 12 turnovers. Being out rebounded in the first half, but now they are out. What is it? It's 24. No, it's 24-19. So they've kind of corrected that. And the turnovers, a big issue here in this quarter.
We have 5 in this quarter. There we see the Angolan team. They're here. They're ready. And we're looking on. But as you said, they're sleepwalking right now. They're going through the motions, but they're not doing it with any emotion, any sort of drive at all, Senegal. And it's up to Tunisia to really just finish the game as early as possible. They want to take the life away from Senegal. Don't give them a reason to get motivated.
Badji makes both free throws. A little bit of a different look defensively.
Room for Ben Ramdal. Lucky there.
Elmal Brook. And Kaniwa got the rebound and perhaps wisely brought it back outside. Ben Ramdal, cross court. Hadidan, 4 in the shot clock. Oh, look at the passing again. And I think Ben Ramdal may have traveled. But nevertheless, good game from Tunisia.
I'm not sure Badji being at the back of the zone is very effective for Senegal. You need to slide him into the middle, perhaps bring Dieng out.
He has to do a lot of running on that lower baseline, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's also, his coverages, he's not really sure. It's almost like he doesn't play that spot a lot. He's not sure who he should be guarding in which situation.
Gayaza, and Ben Ramdam reached in and was called for the foul.
Turnover, wasn't it? Unlucky.
So Ben Ramdam has to exit.
Yeah, he doesn't feel like it's a foul at all.
Abbasi comes back into the game. Abbasi also has 3 fouls. Badji drives in and travels. Over to Abbasi. And they kept it alive, but Elmal Brook fouled Dalmeida. So that means free throws for Senegal. They are in the bonus already. That is a long time to be in the bonus.
Yeah, it really is. And how many? It's the second time or the third that they fouled at the opposite end of the floor to their own free throw line and just walked Senegal down the opposite end for 2 easy ones. And of course, Senegal have to hit. 6 of 10 now.
So 1 of 2. Hadidan. Braw's going to come back into the game. And traveling called on Elmal Brook. Salah Mejri not playing tonight, up off his feet. Up on his feet rather, now he sits down.
So often he's the guy on the floor, and these players that are playing now are the cheerleaders for him. He's returning the favor. As it comes out, Bra comes in. Bra gave good impact, didn't he? 5 points, 4 rebounds.
Oh, good hands from Hadidan. Even Jing's sleepwalking a little bit. And now Diop is out of bounds. So still with a 7-point lead. You know, Tunisia, all of these opportunities. And you just wonder if at some point Senegal are going to wake up. Kaniwa has the ball kicked, so 12 seconds will be on the shot clock. Badgie got his foot on that. El Malbrook open. And Bra chases down the long rebound.
3-point shot is such a factor for Tunisia. When they're hitting it, they look so good. When they miss,
Kaniwa puts one up, and he hits it.
when they hit them, they look so good. When they miss, the offense just slows, and really, you know, they struggle to find any sort of points.
Now Mendy. And Jing gets the rebound and the putback.
Two guys ran out to Mendy challenging the shot. And left no one there whatsoever to get close to Jing.
El Malbrook over to Kaniwa. He's been hot. He threw up an air ball from the corner. He looks more comfortable from the top of the key. Now Jing puts up a three. That's good. Reminding us of that late three that he hit last night.
Once again, all that work from Tunisia. They look so comfortable. And you look up, it's a 5-point game. It'll be interesting to see whether Jeng will bring the 3-point stroke into his arsenal in the NBA.
Minnesota, yeah. They may not let him.
Yeah.
Well,
he doesn't have the same freedom as he does in this offense, that's for sure. You know, getting a lot of touches out on the perimeter. And again, it's going to be a tight front line with Garnett, with Carl Anthony Towns there as well. He's shown an ability to hit that three.
And penetration. Senegal with the rebound. And Jing, another three, this time no good. Doesn't want to forget that he is a big man. Oh, the cutter. Oh, beautiful pass. Abbasi, though, ended up having to shoot over Jing, but Kanil was there to put it up and in. Well, he's brought a spark, hasn't he? And now, unsportsmanlike foul called on Tunisia. So let's, on Kaniwa, I think it was Kaniwa, because his reaction.
I didn't see. Just waiting for a replay. I was having a look as to how old he was. Kaniwa was 32 years of age. You know, he's one of the older statesmen of this Tunisian team. Wondering why he doesn't perhaps play as much sometimes. You know, maybe it's because they're trying to bring a batter through. Can't play big minutes nowadays, perhaps.
Well, it could be a key play. Zig is going to come in for Hadidane. Not sure why. In fact, the unsportsmanlike was called on Hadidane, so not on Kaniwa. Badji from just behind the line. Kaniwa pushes it up the floor quickly and draws the foul. Tunisia appeal for an unsportsmanlike. Salah Mejri appeals for an unsportsmanlike. I didn't see one. He's giving him good minutes.
I think it's the way he fell afterwards. You know, he's got such a speed and just got a little bump. I mean, there was barely any contact when you look at the replay, was there? But he just got a little bump that put him, you know, off balance, and he fell quite heavily. He's had to go out.
Well, that can be a bad injury, Hopefully he's okay.
He was already taped before, so I'm not sure if it was something that had been bothering him, or whether he just likes to wear the wrist, you know, the bandage on the wrist.
Could be it for him tonight. We'll see. He was playing well. El Malbrook comes back in, takes the free throws, makes both, takes it back to a 7-point lead. Look at that, 25 points from the Tunisian bench. And offensive foul on Badji. Checky Sarr was, watch Badji. Oh no, that's what do you, when you said it, you have to be still, right? Yeah. So he just kind of went into him.
Yeah, it can't be the
forearm.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Roll, three-pointer, and huge turn of events here. Back to 10 points, and big game from Michael Roll. He's on a roll.
And they've got to keep feeding him, keep running these offenses to get him open shots.
Now Diop for three. And Gorgie Jing was getting the rebound. Nobody boxing him out. And is that Abassi picking up the fourth?
Yeah. The only way Jeng's going to get a touch is if he goes get the offensive rebound.
So the first one is good. Just haven't, you know, the good start really for Tunisia was imperative, wasn't it, tonight? Because they can be awkward playing against them. Jing has 18 and 10.
Yep.
He's a double-double machine. So every single game he's had double-doubles.
Yep. What a tournament.
It's not unrealistic to say he could still not get the MVP. I wouldn't think that he would, but you never know. Well, air ball. Now that triggers a fast break. And Diop lays it up and in to a 6-point game.
Pick that opportunity to run Senegal. So difficult to shake. You just keep within touching distance the whole time.
Diop called for holding roll. So free throws for Michael Roll. Senegal will, if he makes both of these, they'll have 24 seconds here at the end of the third quarter. So on balance, you think Michael Roll has given Tunisia what they've needed in this tournament, or he's been a positive addition, but you're not, you know, the question is, has he given them exactly what they needed?
He has been a positive addition, you're right. I think he's a slightly different type of naturalised player. It's not that they've gone out and found him. And I think in an ideal world, they would take someone a bit more one-on-one oriented than him. You know, he's a bit too similar to the other players they've got. But yeah, he's been a fantastic addition. You know, he's a great basketball player.
He's been a team player.
Yeah.
10 seconds, Jane gets it to Ibrahima Thomas. And now Tunisia, with 7 seconds left, they've got a little bit of time. El Malbrook puts up a jumper, it's good! So that was Senegal's mistake, shooting a little bit too early perhaps. And Salah Mejri comes out, gives his support. Senegal trailing it 60-52 against Tunisia after this jump shot right at the end of the quarter from Malbrook, El Malbrook.
Coach Talat was making way for Salamejri to sit down and do some coaching on that one. Senegal, you're shooting 59% for 2, and you're losing by 8. It's incredible, really. So winning rebound, 15 turnovers is hurt. They just haven't turned Tunisia over at all. Points after turnover, just 3 for Senegal, 26 for Tunisia.
That's big, and also, although it's no surprise, Tunisia have a lot of points from the bench, whereas Senegal really just have a handful.
Tunisia struggle at times for scoring, but because they've been able to score off turnovers, they've got 13 points in transition as well. That's doubling up Senegal. They've got the easy points they need to just keep the scoreboard ticking over. You see Mejri again giving some advice. Maybe he wants to start the second phase of his career now.
I think Salah Mejri should get into public relations. He seems to like to go up and say hello to everybody. He certainly has been like the fan favorite here. Spends time after the games talking to the fans, taking pictures with babies like a politician. So 4th quarter action underway. Antoine Mendy.
Well, we've said Senegal wanting to get into the 4th quarter in the game, and this is where they might look to pick up the intensity, really start to fire. You know, try and give it 10 minutes of big effort. We've started the quarter the right way. Mendy 3.
Well, Michael Roll steps into a jump shot.
It's difficult to turn it on, though, at the drop of a hat. Tunisia have started to find that rhythm now. Michael Roll especially.
He's having a great game.
Yeah.
18 points. Ibrahim Thomas, you can't leave him open ever. Ever.
Honestly,
after watching yesterday, why would you ever leave him open?
And it's incredible to me what a transformation he's made of a player. You know, all credit to him. I checked back. So the 2 senior competitions he's played, he's going to get called for a foul here. The 2 senior competitions he's played in AfroBasket 2013, World Cup 2014, he hadn't made a 3. He didn't make 1 3 in either of those 2 competitions. He only shot 8 times across both of them. And all of a sudden he comes out. I saw him in the warm-ups and I thought, wow, you know, the shot looks good, and it really does. Form is on point. He is just drilling 3 after 3.
He was making them with headphones on during warm-ups tonight. He was getting into his rhythm, both musically and shooting. Interesting, they've got Jang now on Roll, but Roll puts it up, and the ball goes in. 21 points. Well, how could we question if he was a good addition or the right addition? He's been terrific. Do Senegal have an answer this time? Jang and Roll knocks it away, and he gets Diop on his back and puts it up and in. He handled that well, didn't he?
Yeah, just went straight into the body of Diop, so Diop couldn't afford to jump and foul him. Question mark for Jeng in his NBA career is the turnovers, especially in situations like that. And that's an area of growth for him.
Dalmeida for 3, and Mendy gets the rebound and was trapped.
After talking about Dalmeida before the game and how big he's been in recent performances, he's still got 8 assists. He leads the tournament in assists, and he's done a tremendous job there, but just 5 points. And he'd become like a second or third scorer for Senegal behind Jeng. They've lost his scoring punch in this game. And no one else has really stepped up, have they?
Bounce pass. Ibrahim Thomas fouled by Bra.
Maybe it's Thomas that stepped up.
I don't know. I think the evidence, the last few games that we've watched Ibrahim Thomas play, he could have had a bigger role in this team, but maybe that'll happen next year.
He gives a nice balance because of his ability to shoot the 3. That's often the knock on the other Senegalese bigs. You know, Jeng will step out a little, but everybody else is in and around the basket. And that takes away the space for Jeng, who's your best player. Thomas allows him to spread the floor. He can stay on the three-point line. If his player tries to help on Jeng, then he can knock it down.
Oh, really short on that free throw. He actually looks much more dangerous outside than he does inside, though. And it goes to Bra, back outside to Gayaza. Looked like he hopped. Oh, and the pass from Gayaza just led him a little bit too much. Thomas gets it, passes back out. Mendy for three, that was short. He had Gayaza flying right at him.
Great challenge from Gayaza to put him off.
Zig draws the contact, but turns it over. Now, Ben Ramdan's going to come back in with about 6:50 on the clock right now. So he'll come in with the next dead ball. What is it that Senegal are doing here? Look, oh, they get Mendy cutting to the basket.
Absolutely nothing, and that's why it was a breakdown on the defensive end. How do you let Mendy just cut like that and be that open in the paint?
Well, Elmel Brook misses, but the follow by Gayaza.
And then Mendy just didn't box out. Gayaza sneaks inside.
So Dalmeida hands it back to Thomas. He's open again. Ball batted out to Mendy. 6 minutes to go now. Jing puts his head down. And a foul before the shot. Mendy from the corner, and just Badji goes back up, draws the foul. So 8-point lead. They're not going to be comfortable here for, you know, Senegal aren't going to go away.
No, they are not. They're so big, Senegal. They can just close up shop in and around the ring, rebounding, blocking shots. Force you to the outside, and as we've seen for Tunisia, you miss a couple, you start to get a little tight. I'm going to call a timeout here, I think.
Senegal now 12 of 18 at the line. Missed both, and Bra with the rebound. Boy, beautiful pass. I don't know, just skips past Elmel Brook. But he threw it behind him. Dalmeida quickly brings it back. And Jing kind of charges into Bra there. He's like, oh, this is the end of the AfroBasket, but he lowered his shoulder and went straight into him. Three fouls. Jane got his hand on that pass. Now, enjoy. And Senegal are trying to shoot their way back into it here.
The zone has pushed them to the outside very effectively. And they are struggling. 7 of 25, Senegal.
Elmel Brook for three. Count it! That's a big one. 11-point advantage. Under 5 minutes. And now Tunisia must start to think they can do this.
Yeah, that's a big psychological basket to get it into a double-figure lead.
Jing takes it out to Dalmeida, who shoots it over the rim. So the shot clock violation.
No, they said that
saying it went off.
Michael Roll had possession of the ball.
Okay. Yeah, he shakes his head. Yep, he agrees. Look at Malbrook. Malbrook. That last three and the 11-point advantage. You're going to dump it to Jang. He goes up, misses. Battle for the ball. Back outside. Enjoy. And stays out. And Ben Ramdan with the rebound.
If you just hit a couple, Senegal, they can get right back into this game very quickly indeed. But you just don't feel that they can make them, do you?
And Elmel Brook was fouled by Enjoy.
What would they have done without Elmer Brook down the stretch of close games? I mean, nearly every one, he has been either winning them the game or keeping them in the game.
Yeah, he has been crucial. Four on the shot clock. Roll over to Elmel Brook, and let's go! Tunisia, 75-61. And they are moving ever so close to the podium here. They are on top of Senegal, and the clock is now becoming the enemy of Senegal. Mendy for three. It's just not happening for Senegal, is it, Lloyd?
No, it's not. And Elmer Brook is looking very confident indeed. You know, for a guy who's just 3 of 11 for the field, he stepped up like he was never going to miss that last one. You want to know where he is if you're Senegal with great hands.
They handed it off, and Mendy just took it and went straight down the court for the dunk. And now a timeout. So that gets it back to 12 points. And a needless turnover. Mendy gives Senegal a chance, but they've got to start making some headway coming out of this timeout. Points off turnovers has been an astonishing stat tonight.
Especially considering Mendy just added 2 of those 5 right there before the timeout break. So it's just Senegal just haven't put any pressure whatsoever on Tunisia. They haven't put pressure on passing lanes. They haven't done anything defensively. They've been very, very passive indeed. So it's no surprise they haven't had, you know, a large number there.
They've been flat, really, since the start of the game. It's all about energy in this one for Tunisia. Somehow they've had the energy coming from their guys. I mean, Braz played well tonight. I mean, exceptional game from Roll, although he's capable of having this type of game, 23 points. Funny that Elmel Brook only has 10 points. It seems like he has a lot more than that.
And he's only 3 of 11 from the field. Open again, though.
Well, Gayaza's going to put up a jump shot. Yeah, they took some time off the clock. That's about all you could say about that possession.
Gayaza I know he's
from behind.
I know Diop's got Enjoy. Sorry, he's got the ball into Yang, but at this stage in the game, a quick 3 really gives you an opportunity to get back in. You had rebounders, you were wide open, you were in rhythm. I think you've got to take it.
3 fouls on Gayaza. And goes to Badji, and he draws the foul, so that stops the clock and puts Senegal on the line. But they've missed some free throws here in the fourth quarter as well.
That's exactly it. You've got to make free throws.
So Gayaza now with 4 fouls. And Badji at the line with a chance to get it back to 10. Senegal went on that late run to tie Nigeria. So they've got the capacity.
They went on the late run to beat Angola in the group stages as well. Don't forget, that situation, they were down 5 with
in the final minute and a half or so.
Yeah, absolutely. So plenty of opportunity for them, but they've got to start making some threes.
He's taking Ben Ramdam out. Is that because of the free throw shooting?
Maybe, but also Adidane, all these other guys have played so well.
Fouls on Dalmeida, and any more fouls, and Tunisia will be shooting free throws. A roll. It's the game clock under 2 minutes. Finds some little bit of space, puts up a tough shot, and look at that. Oh, players on the floor for the ball, but Mendy was able to bend over and pick it up. Good hands from Hadidane to knock it away, but Mendy now has it. Jing. And Enjoy again, doesn't take the 3. Mendy gets the rebound, and 1.
Enjoy's got to step up and take the 3. Great work on the boards from Mendy. Get Jeng as well to keep it alive in the first place. Still time. Tunisia's got 2 timeouts left, so does Senegal.
18 points and 10 rebounds from Mendy.
And he hasn't shot the ball well. He's got 18 points, shooting 3 of 10 for 3.
So that gets it back to a 7-point game now. And Adil Talatli has had another thought. He needs to reorganize here. He needs to try to finish this game.
Tunisia have shot the ball very well indeed from the free throw line, 11 of 12. The only guy to miss is Hamdi Bra, who's 5 of 6. So they've taken Ben Ramdal, who had the problems in the free throw line the last couple of games, out. And if you're Senegal, you probably look to let it in, immediately foul here. But when you're shooting as well as Tunisia have, they continue to knock them down. And this game's not going to be an easy one for Senegal to come back into.
No offensive rebounds and the points that come off of those. Now Senegal have 16-16. We did see Ben Ramdam struggle with his free throw shooting, but yesterday, I remember he made his last 2 and then came out. So was he 2 of 4 last night?
4, yeah.
Yeah, so
I still don't think, with all the players that have played so well for Tunisia, there's no need to put him in now. Gayaza, Bra, Hadidane. Foul.
Well, valuable seconds ticking off the clock here. Roll dribbles it down to 8. Now 5. Now Roll spins, gets in the lane, puts it up and in. Well, that could not have gone any better, could it?
No, that could be the game right there.
The only thing that would have been better is if he'd been fouled and got a 3-point play. Almeida. Valuable seconds. Almeida puts up a 3 off the rim and foul Gayaza. They're not giving away any threes. Where's Thomas right now? He could help you.
That's the finish, isn't it? The celebration to the crowd. It's been by far his best game, Michael Roll.
Oh, 25 points. The score. Played for the UCLA Bruins in college basketball. Grew up in California. He's played in Antwerp, in Belgium. Played in Spain with Kai Zaragoza. He's played in Turkey. So Almeida foul shooting the three. And makes just 1 of 3, and that might just do it. They had the opportunity, didn't they?
Yeah, as well as Tunisia have played, you know, the step-up performances they've had, it's been Senegal that have been responsible for their undoing as much as anything else. The three-point shooting in the second half, the missed free throws here, the turnovers, the lack of defense.
I'll tell you what, it's that same old thing about playing on the last day. The team that wins the third place game gets to the podium is going to feel a lot better than the team that loses in the final. So all smiles have returned to the faces of Tunisia over on the bench. Except possibly for Ben Ramdan, who still wants to be out there. Hadidane commits the foul. Not what you want to do in this situation. So the end of a long AfroBasket is here for Tunisia and Senegal. And Tunisia going to get a dunk here, I think. Nope, they're going to get a block shot. And Hadidane is going to take it back out. So Almeida reaches in and commits the foul. Eight-point game. Always important to leave a tournament with a medal, if you can, with the place on the podium.
Especially at home. And it's a Tunisian team which hasn't really had a lot of medals, really, over their history. Just 5 through the AfroBasket. So their 4th bronze. Of course, they wanted it to be the 2nd gold after 2011, but like you said, we'll settle for that.
Right.
Another timeout.
Senegal trying to race down the floor. You know, it's a tough tournament. So timeout, 23.1 seconds remaining. Yeah, Tunisia had the aspirations, but before their very first game, Adel Talatli said, listen, there is a lot of pressure on us in this tournament. And, you know, at that point, it was evident it was going to be a struggle. And don't forget, they almost lost to Morocco in the round of 16, just like they lost in the round of 16 2 years ago. So they survived that game in the round of 16. They won their quarterfinal, but in the semifinals, they just, Angola were not good opponents for them. Field goal percentage for both teams.
Really, it went downhill for Tunisia after that amazing performance against Nigeria, didn't it? They came out, they absolutely swept Nigeria away.
Yeah.
Winning 70-59, and then after that was a 1-point win over Morocco, a struggle for a 7-point win over Mali, and then the loss to Angola.
Yeah, they even looked extremely vulnerable against Mali. So a good bounce back win for Tunisia here against Senegal. So difficult for some teams to come out and play that third place game. And I'm not sure that Cheikh Sarr, you know, when he looks back at this tournament, or when Senegal look back at this tournament, they're going to remember what was it, the last 20 seconds or so of their semifinal against Nigeria when they had possession.
It was 23.8 seconds.
23.8 seconds, and they couldn't get a good shot.
They had the ball. The shot clock was off. It was all set for them perfectly. Tied game. And they just didn't get. I mean, you can't even class it as a look at the basket.
No, they didn't.
The shot they got in the end.
No, it was a desperation three from Mendy when he was covered by like 3 guys. He barely got it off. Well, long shot, no good, but Badji there for the putback. And that will be the final score, I would imagine, 82 to 73. So 82 to 73. Courtney Jane was terrific in this tournament. It was great having him out for another summer of international basketball. And Senegal giving warm congratulations to Tunisia, who've beaten them to the podium. Tunisia win it 82 to 73.
The depth of Tunisia really was the story, wasn't it? Those step-up performances. Abassi with 10 points, that's a tournament high from him. Kaniwa, 8, 13 for El Mabrouk, 6 for Gayaza, 7 points, 9 rebounds for Bra. 38 points off the bench for Tunisia. Tremendous performance from those reserves.
Well, they finished 3rd in 2009. They played at the World Cup in 2010. They won the title of the AfroBasket in 2011. They played at the Olympics in 2012. And Tunisia, hosting this AfroBasket, have at least made it back to the podium. Salah Mejri didn't even play tonight. And they were able to pull together, led by that man right there, Michael Roll, who had 25 points. And Salah Mejri, before he embarks on his NBA challenge, is all smiles as his homeland has captured another medal. For Senegal, both of these teams will be at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament next year as they try to get to Rio for the Olympics. The final still to come, Nigeria and Angola. They'll be tipping it off 9 o'clock local time here in Tunis. So thanks for watching, everybody. One last time, it's Tunisia winning the 3rd place game, 82 to 73 over Senegal.
Hey!